A parameter that we get asked a lot of questions around is light monitoring, or typically lux, which is really the brightness of light. And the idea that we can measure light levels inside our buildings and use that information to better inform decisions to create healthier spaces for our occupants is super exciting. I love that, and I'm a huge believer in that. However, I have seen this in practice much more often than not just totally fail and fall flat on its face. And the reason for that is that light is a complicated metric to measure and to turn into value. So what do you do if I tell you that right now this room is 237 lux? Or, okay, I'm not really in a room, but the trouble is that it's really hard to turn that into any sort of value or operational change. And one of the reasons for that is that light is a spectrum, right? You have red light, you've got blue light, you've got everything in between. And most technology out there today that is measuring light levels, when you see this embedded in a sensor sitting on a wall, it's simply measuring brightness. And that's not how we as humans perceive what is creating a positive or negative space. We care about things like, is the light flickering? Is it 9 p.m. and I should be going to sleep soon, and instead I'm staring at a screen that is bright blue? Or, the lights were tuned for the middle of the day, but now it's the evening, and instead of getting a nice soft yellow light, I'm getting this really harsh blue light that is going to impact my sleep. It's going to impact my health, my well-being. That is what we care about, but those data points are usually not being picked up by a lot of these sensors. And so I'm a huge believer that this information can be used, and we can extract a lot of meaning and insight and value from the light in our spaces. Number one, we need the right sensors, the right technology to actually be able to capture that data. And then number two, we need to be able to turn that data into value and insight. And we are going to get there. I'm a huge believer in this. I think most projects today are not setting themselves up for success and are not actually going to be able to translate that data into value today. So if you are considering measuring light levels, measuring lux levels in your building, in your project, I would just say, take a moment to think about what that process is going to look like, and how are you going to be able to turn that data into value and into insight and into a healthier space for your occupants. And just make sure that that's actually doable before setting off and embarking on this giant project that may be doomed for failure right from the start.